Alrighty, let me go check if YouTube is working or not. Oh, wait. The video player is working, it's probably fine. God damn it, keep forgetting that. Alright, mini player looks like it's up. I think we're good to go. Let me check. I can check Twitch a bit more easily, but let me go check Twitch. Oh, pumpkin's messaging. It's fine. We good to go. Hello, CD and Pumpkin. Welcome to stream. How y'all doing? Loaf of bread. Get loafed of breaded. I've been loafed of breaded. But yeah, welcome in everyone. It is this is just when I could stream. That's about it. I spent like my entire day today working and then doing homework, and I didn't stop until like 7:30, at which point I grabbed some dinner, did a little bit of cleaning, and then got this stream set up. I'm actively not doing the paper. I have to do it tomorrow at noon. Wow, I'm going insane, but that's not important. That's where I'm at, honestly. I'm like, this is a brief. I've forced myself to set aside some time to have respite from the insanity that is the rest of my life. And that's something special, you know. I do appreciate that. So we're gonna do some epic video gaming to distract me from the work that I'm gonna have to do tomorrow. It's actually, I don't think it's that bad, probably. We'll see. It shouldn't be too bad. I swear. But, yeah. Okay. Planning and stream scheduling. I think pretty sure we're going to be able to go back to D&D on Monday night. Awesome. Epic. Empire stuff is starting back up. That is fabulous. So, yeah. I think we're going to be able to go back to D&D. It'll probably just resume as normal. We just needed some time to, like, get settled into new routines. I think we'll be back with that soon. Next week, I would guess either Tuesday or Thursday night will be Yakuza. I am probably going forward, because Tuesdays and Thursdays do not work as well for me as they used to. So going forward, I'm going to be trying to move Celeste streams to either Friday or Saturday night, work and other plans dependent. And so the stream schedule will probably be... The stream schedule is going to be weird. It'll probably be the usual Sunday, Monday. I don't think that's changing. Well, once I get everything back up and running normally. It'll probably go back to being the usual Sunday, Monday. Yakuza will happen on Tuesday or Thursday whenever Kane is available to join. Because I try and schedule those when Kane can join. And then Celeste will happen whenever it can. Probably at an 8 out of 10 insanity meter while I'm at that sweet 10 out of 10 mark. Get ready, set, go, CD and Pumpkin. Start listing. But yeah, that's where we're at right now. Needless to say, I have not confirmed which day. Actually, you know what? While I'm just gonna send Kane a message real quick, just on the off chance I can get you guys an answer on when Yakuza will be next week. Okay, message sent. Hopefully I can get you, ladies and gentlemen, a professional streamer. I did... Professional my ass. When did I ever claim to be a professional streamer? Fucking never is when. Anyways, stream schedule will look something like that going forward. Basically, Yakuza will happen on either Tuesday, will either happen on Tuesday or Thursday, whenever Kane is available. And, Celeste, or whatever eventually, or Strawberry Jam, once I finally get this fucking Golden Berry. Hush, it makes my joke better. Alright. Absolutely impeccable timing, VR. Came in on that message. Brilliant. But yeah, the general stream schedule will be some series Sunday night, which at the moment is kind of non-existent and is just like an extra filler slot, but it'll eventually end up being Persona 3 once I get everything settled in. Monday night for D&D, Yakuza will happen on either Tuesday or Thursday, depending on when Kane can join us, and Celeste, later going to be Celeste Strawberry Jam, will be preferably on either Friday or Saturday, but could be relocated to the alternate of whichever Tuesday, Thursday slot Yakuza doesn't use up. That is, you know it's bad when VR of all people questions it. Exactly. That's the general plan right now. I know it's a little weird. So what I'm basically going to be doing is just letting you guys know as I make plans as far out in advance as I can. That's just the general... The gist of it is that one of the Tuesday-Thursday streams is at least some of the time going to turn into a Friday or Saturday stream instead. That's all I'm getting at right now. So hopefully we can settle into something on that. With all that said, I really don't have a ton of other announcements. Like, not much has changed. I think I'm kinda getting a little bit ahead on my school stuff, but not fast enough, and so we're gonna forget about that for now, and just play some Celeste. I have been noticing the past few times that my segment, this segment right here hasn't been going as well as I want to, so I'm actually gonna run through and practice this real quick. I'm not gonna be too thorough about it, just do a couple tries on each room, and we'll see if we can make it work. That room did not need many tries to begin with, I don't think. I'll maybe do the 3-try rule on some of the more crucial rooms. I'm not vengeful about my bans yet. Maybe don't ever be? I don't think this one needs a ton of work. Oh, Lord. I don't want to do that in a run. That's an incorrect dash direction. As I've said this before, but in general, I'm not gonna mark off, like, some of the I'm not gonna mark off a lot of the death bingo squares, during practice runs. Just because practice runs are when I'm supposed to be ironing those issues out. If y'all know what I mean. Cool. Not too bad, not too bad. This one I'll probably do 3 times just to be safe. I've gotten pretty consistent with this movement, but, you know, never hurts to be careful on this one. Oh, that's not the movement I usually do, though. So let's not do that in a run. Okay. Yep, that's what I usually do right there. Jump, jump, give it a rest, and okay. I think that's good right there. It's 3 out of 4 attempts, with the recent 2 being better. Hold on, I want to check this. I want to check out what this is. Concord, the new first-party, officially the biggest flop in all of it. It shut down 11 days after release. Whoa! Holy shit, that is bad. Those are some garbage numbers. Ooh. The spacing was a little bit off there. It worked, but it was off. I think that room is going well enough. There is also the argument to be made about not over-practicing, because that can cause issues too. That was... You know what was funny, CD, is that's actually totally a brain cell moment, because I was thinking about exactly the same thing. I literally just didn't mention it because it was too deep cut of a reference. I've been walking a bit too far on these ones lately. I think I just need to chill out a little bit. Sometimes that's the best solution. Just chill out a little bit. You know how it is. I almost don't even know if I need to practice this. Okay. I don't know if I need to practice this, he says before failing it for the first time in like several weeks. I don't know why my brain wanted to do it like that. Like, look, this is one of the easiest rooms in this segment. Like, God damn it! What was that? That was some bullshit. There we go. Okay, that was whack. Let's try that again. There were a few things I wanted to say, but I can't quite remember what they all were. Oh, I have some stuff I could say. Since we all last talked, went to a Glass Animals concert. What the fuck was that? What was that? Why am I failing this room right now? This room is not hard. But yeah, I went to a... I'm jumping too late, that's the issue. I think I just figured it out. That was too early of a jump, but whatever. Why am I failing that timing right now? That's really weird. But yeah, I went to a Glass Animals concert. It was very, very cool. Very, very fun. Yeah, I'm trying to think what I wanted to say, like, if I want to say anything more about that. I mean, I've been thinking a lot about their different albums and their new album, lately, but I don't think anyone else here really listens to a ton of Glass Animals, so I'm not sure how relevant the conversation would be to everyone. I can just rant, though, maybe. So yeah, Glass Animals released a new album. I think it was back in... Is it as early as, like... It wasn't one of the May albums, was it? Or was it? Anyways, the release date doesn't matter, but they released a new album a few months back called I Love You So Fucking Much. Initially, when I listened to the album, I wasn't, like, huge on it, if that makes sense. I liked it, but I thought it was, it didn't really click with me right at first. But there were some standout tracks, and I also loved the rest of their discography, so I hopped on those concert tickets because I was super hyped about getting to see them live. And I was actually quite pleasantly surprised to see that a lot of the material on that new album that I was a little less enthusiastic about made the transition into a live setting really, really well. And just gave me some new respect for a lot of those songs. I'd still say the album is maybe on the weaker spectrum for the band as a whole, but it has grown on me a lot since I first heard it. So, big ups on that. If anybody's interested in checking out the new material, the songs I would personally recommend are Show Pony and Wonderful Nothing, I'd say. Those are two really big highlights for me. Yeah. Thinking about it in the context of the rest of their discography, I'd say my biggest gripe with the new album is that it's perhaps... I think it's just a little less cohesive overall than some of their previous projects. Like, all of their previous albums have been tied together by a really strong sense of aesthetics, both in the instrumental palette and in the lyricism and stuff like that. And they're always, like, the sounds of the album are very tightly integrated into the concept of the album, which I've always really appreciated about Glass Animals music. And while there is still some of that this time, it just feels like it doesn't quite come together in the same way. It's a little less cohesive. It isn't, like, as strongly, like, worked together. Like, the different elements don't, like, work together as strongly. Yeah. Those were my opinions, but I think at this point, in terms of individual song quality, I'd say it's actually pretty similar to a lot of their other albums. I'd just say, like, the sum of the... It's not... All of the other albums are, like, way more than the sum of their parts, and this one isn't in the same way. Alright, and let me go see what CD has said about Jukebox. Oh yeah, Only God Was Above Us is fully listened to. Fully listened to. I sat with every song another ranking, but I've only written half the views. I'm very busy. Yeah, no, whenever you can, don't worry. Your first concert's in 19 days. Epic, epic, epic. You should at least listen to the singles off of Off the Races, because they're definitely going to play the singles. Like, if you get I hope you get a Jump Started in concert CD, because that slaps in concert. And then there's Everybody's Lonely, Fred Astaire, and the first time I went to see Jukebox, they played this song called Time and I, which is a really good song off of the album, but it's a little bit of a deeper cut. And I think they might have closed the show with it. And they did a bunch of like, Ben did a bunch of like piano jazz improvisation. It was really cool. I have not seen the Minecraft movie trailer. I actually have not. You might be surprised. I have not touched the Minecraft movie trailer. In fact, I didn't know there was one. Rancid? Yeah. I'm not wholly surprised about that. I mean, I'm not happy about it, but I'm not surprised either. Oh, while we're on this, actually, before I finish on my musical tangents for the night, I wanted to mention, that I think, I'm gonna switch to an Arctic Monkeys tangent now. I think Tranquility Base is probably, I'm gonna call it my second favorite Arctic Monkeys album at this point. So it has surpassed Humbug and taken the second place spot for me personally. The reason I've made that decision to put Tranquility Base above Humbug is because I think Humbug has stronger like individual moments than Tranquility Base, but Tranquility Base is, and you'll notice I'm bringing this up a second time tonight, Tranquility Base is like the dictionary definition of an album that is more than the sum of its parts. The entire experience of the like it all has an, even though like individual moments don't go quite as big as like Jeweler's Hands or Cornerstone or My Propeller off of Humbug, the additive effect, the additive effect of Tranquility Base's like framing device, how it like allows all of the theming to come together, the vibes, the choices they make with the instrumental palette, it all serves to come together into one cohesive narrative, which is something that I think is really impressive. That's how I feel about A Moon-Shaped Pool. Oh, no, I still gotta get back to Radiohead, that reminds me. So yeah, Tranquility Base, I think, is probably my second favorite Arctic Monkeys album now. Even though I think some of the individual tracks on Humbug go a little bit harder, a little bit stronger, I think that the cumulative effect of Tranquility Base's narrative and aesthetics makes it a better experience overall. Let me think. Anything else? Oh, I've actually been reminded, I have so much musical tangent right now. Like, I genuinely have so much musical tangent I need to work through. CD, I'm gonna return to the topic of, Romance real quick. Romance by, Fontaine's DC. I think I'm just gonna have to go ahead and, at this point, flat out disagree with you on, Motorcycle Boy. I don't know why, but I've been couple of the times I've been listening to it, listening to the album on my way back from school, and that song has just really clicked with me. I thought it was one of the weaker tracks originally when I listened to the album, but, yeah, I just the way it all builds on itself, the eeriness, I really think it's good. You got Sophia to play VOTV? That song sucks so much ass. I know why you think it sucks ass, and it's totally valid. I I think part of what's going on is I don't have a negative association with that vocal delivery. It doesn't bother me at all. And I'm totally okay just agreeing to disagree on that song. Played it for 2 streams. I have not been to a Sophia stream yet. In fact, I didn't know she streamed until just recently. I think Octi mentioned it like while I was in his chat one time. Bro thinks he's Kurt Cobain. Anyways, as I said, I don't have any negative associations with the vocal delivery on that song, and I think that just allows me to, like, I don't know, appreciate what is there. And I think for you, even what is there wasn't super appealing, even setting aside the vocal delivery. But as I was saying, I'm totally okay agreeing to disagree on that track, but I have really been digging it lately. Isn't it funny how... We do both have a great book fiasco. The context is so different, but we do. Oh my god. I didn't even think about that. That's amazing. I'm trying to think if there's any other updated opinions on romance. Mostly Motorcycle Boy is the song that I've changed my mind the most on. I don't know how much you read of... Oh no, I do know that you read my thoughts, my response to your review, so I don't have to cover that. But that's probably the only major change since we last talked about the album. I will say, I think the album overall has been duking it out for my 3rd favorite of the year, which is insane that an album that good is, like, fighting for 3rd place. It just has the unfortunate circumstance of having come out in the same year as Only God Was Above Us and Loss of Life, which are 2 of my favorite albums of all time. And I do mean that genuinely. Like, that is something I've given a lot of thought to. Those are both my favorite 2 albums from 2 of my favorite bands, but I think they both stand really head and shoulders above a lot of other stuff. What about Sundowner? I have been trying to I've been trying to dig further in on Sundowner. It's not working as well as I want it to. Like, I'm trying to give it to like... I want to like Sundowner a lot more than I do. I'm gonna keep listening to it. I'll get back to you. I don't know, it's not sticking in my brain in the same way a lot of the rest of the material on that album is. Which I always enjoy it when I'm listening to it, but it hasn't been sticking with me in the same way that a lot of the rest of the album has. Anyways, overall, that album is a strong contender for my 3rd favorite album of the year. It's currently duking it out with Clancy, the new 21 Pilots album. And it's crazy that I have to rank so many great albums that have come out this year lower than that. I don't know, I have just been eating good on music this year. I don't know about anyone else. All my favorite bands are releasing new material. Lo-fi worked a double today, but I will still run across. It just needs to click, CD. It just needs to click. Anyways, Romance is a good album. Let me think. I brought it up on, I don't know if it was the last Yakuza stream or the one before that, but, the new Sabrina Carpenter album is also really good. I've been liking more and more of the material as I listen to it. I think there's a lot of great pop music with, some more, inventive, ideas as well. If that variety of pop music is your thing, I think you'll find a lot to enjoy. The new Rex Orange County album just came out like a day or two ago. I haven't had a chance to listen to that one yet, though. I'll get around to it, don't worry. And hold on. There is another one I want to... So do you still hate your job? That is a banger conversation starter. I wanted to bring this up because there's another new album that just released recently. And that album is the new AWOL Nation album. The fifth and most likely final AWOL Nation album, I think. Saying yes or lying. Not gonna get into it too heavily, could tangent for 20 minutes about it, but kind of. Not hate, but definite discontent. That makes sense, CD. That makes sense. I do feel like there are certain jobs where you get to the point where, like, this is fine. This is good enough. But I'd almost rather have something better if I could. I don't know if you're kind of at that point, but... My ass did not vibe with the new Sabrina Carpenter album. That's fine. That's fine. I did not expect you to, CD. Not even a little bit. I was shocked when you said you were even gonna try out even try to listen to the new songs, but I'm glad you gave it a shot at the very least. But to get back to what I was mentioning earlier, new AWOL Nation album, which got a lot of great songs on it. I really like a lot of the material on that album. I think my only I think there are places where it doesn't go big enough. Like it should have gone a bit bigger. Like it feels like it's building something and it just doesn't quite materialize. But other than that, I like almost every song on... No, I think I can say I like every song on the album. I love some of them. I just think it feels like it's building something and it doesn't quite reach there the same way AWOL usually does with their albums. Still glad it exists. As I considering that it is probably AWOL's last album, I do wish it had gone a little bit bigger for a finale, but also you two consistently recommending each other new albums every... I think I'm the one who listens to the most albums. I listen to a lot. Oh, that actually reminds me as well. There's a new Hippocampus album coming out in a couple weeks. Hippocampus's 4th album, Flood, is coming out in a couple weeks, and I'm really hyped for it. I haven't listened to the most recent single off of it, but the first 3 have been really good. Especially Everything at Once. That song is so fucking good. I've played that song at the end of a lot of really hard days. And it really helps. Alright, I know I've been failing this checkpoint a lot, but it's mostly because I keep glancing over at chat. So let me lock in real quick and actually, like, make an earnest effort here. I think with that, I've covered about everything I wanted to cover. Any other musical stuff? I've gone through Sabrina Carpenter, AWOL, Glass Animals, Arctic Monkeys, and Hippocampus. I think that's everything at the moment. I am not locking in right now. I'm being so bad about locking in right now. Huh? Okay, there's something weird going on with my dash refreshes. I need to pay more attention here. I think I'm... What am I doing? Dashing... What the hell is happening? What the hell is happening? What is this? I just got thrown in the trunk of a blacked out 1999 Corolla. Whoa. Anyone can hear me. Do something. I had a, one of my cousins worked at a Hobby Lobby. If you want, I can ask them how it was like to work there and see if it was any fun. I don't know off the top of my head, but I can't think off the top of my head whether or not that would be an interesting job or not, but I know someone who has worked it, so what am I doing? Okay, how does this work? Let me back up a second. Am I okay? Because I'm really struggling on this checkpoint for no reason. I think... Okay. I think I'm dashing too late on the second crystal. And so I'm dashing after I've already intersected with it. Which means that I'm using an extra dash compared to what I should. Or maybe I'm just missing the crystal entirely? Anyways, I seem to have brought it back, so I'm actually going to move on from this checkpoint before I start to develop any bad habits. Even though I'm not super confident in that. Like, I want to get out of there before I develop any bad habits. Yeah, I'll give the person I'll shoot him a text. Actually, I'm gonna do that now. Loaf Arcturist text someone in the middle of stream for the second time tonight. Nice. Loaf text someone in the middle of stream. Minecraft movie trailer. I'll have to watch that. I'm not looking forward to it. I just saw that Pumpkin sent it to me. I'm in a bit of a whimsical, distractible mood at the moment. And it's it's reflecting rather poorly on my playing skills, but that's okay sometimes. Green screen looks worse than something made in CapCut? Oh, fuck. Guys, I've been distancing myself from Minecraft. Alright, can I dash in the right bunking direction, please? There we go. Minecraft story mode? Dear God. That... This one might actually be the death of Jack Black. I mean, he salvaged the Mario movie. Jack Black as Bowser was actually genuinely, like, the best part of that movie. The Mario movie was pretty fun. I'll give it that, overall. Okay, I need to lock the fuck in, because I'm playing so bad right now. Okay, and we're dead. Mario movie did have a bit of effort into it. Which is shocking, because it was made by Illumination. And I don't really conflate Illumination with effort very often. Very often. Woo! English. What the hell was that? Stop being bad at Celeste. Looks like a realism texture pack. Dear God. Dear fucking God. That's offensive. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and count that as doing the 3 in the row, because the reason I died there is because I was looking at chat. Which will not, I promise. Okay. This is some of the worst summit practice I've had in actual months. Can I, okay. I think I'm too whimsical right now, guys. I'm too whimsical. I'm too distracted. I need to be a little bit depressed to play Celeste well. Just whoever made Villager news. Yes, that is the strategy right there. Loaf tat called gender what? Is that supposed to be that's called? What are you responding to? Was it when I said I need to be at least a little was it when I said I need to be at least a little bit depressed to play Celeste? Okay. Alright, those checkpoints aren't really worth practicing because they're little baby ones. Let's see. Yeah, I got it. All I need to do to play Celeste well is remind myself of my comp sci assignment that's due this week. It's really just as simple as that. I'm gonna go ahead and not bother with that, with practicing that one. I think I need to get out of practice right now. Almost feel like in some cases I'm doing more harm than good. Okay, that would have made it. Just made a groundbreaking discovery. Alright, what is it, VR? Sweet. So checkpoint 14 is my distance PV right now, if I remember correct. That's not good. Depending on whether you want to boot up a game or program off Steam, it will say play if it's a game and launch if it's a program like Bender. Okay. Alright. I gotcha. I'm picking up what you're putting down. This changes my whole worldview. This is the revelation that will lead to VR creating a new world religion. VR is a prophet sent to us by some unknown deity. I can't wait to be worshipping VR-ism in a few years. I have pie? Oh, I want pie. Now I want pie. How could you do this to me, CD? You know, usually that checkpoint is the problem child. And it wasn't today. I bet you want pie, bitch. Oh, I forgot to mention the best part about the Glass Animals concert. Okay, so for a bit of context, Glass Animals albums all have really, like, distinct color schemes. Like, they're very pervasive in the album's promotional artwork, like the lyric videos and audio videos for the tracks. Like, they all have these very distinct color palettes. And so I went with a group of 4 people, because that's how many tickets I was able to get. I went with a group of 4 people, and Glass Animals has 4 albums. So, for the concert, we decided to all dress up such that our clothes matched the color scheme of all of the albums. And that was pretty fun. No, 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 no. Why would you do that? Pumpkin, no. We were having a good conversation about pie. Why would you? Oh shit, that actually just reminded me. It's almost pie season at the bakery. And a pie season means making pie crust. And as much as I like pie, I hate making pie crust. Pie crust can be pretty rough. I'm not gonna bother practicing that one. Hey, person on the internet. Welcome in. I do not know when you commented. I hope it wasn't too long ago. Oop. Let's not fail. Yeah, but you sent the message insinuating, Pumpkin. Okay, so I'm actually curious now. Fuck, dude. Come on, brain. It's not that hard. It's actually not that hard. If I do mess this up, can I just fall back down? Okay, cool. That's good to know. Because I'd rather confidently fall back down after missing that dash. Okay. And we're back to playing like shit again. For like a handful of checkpoints, I was playing great. And now we're back to playing like shit again. Is that a crime? No. No, not in and of itself, no. Fuck. Depends. Literally 1980. Ever mentioned how much I like George Orwell novels? Which is I mean, they're all very good. From what I understand, George Orwell himself was not the best of persons. But he wrote some damn good stuff in his time. Animal Farm, really great. 1984, very great. I read an essay of his as well that was about how it was about how people were using about the usage of unnecessarily unnecessarily incomprehensible prose, which in and of itself is I can't think of a great way to explain it, but it was basically sort of a critique of the way that the words we use to describe certain, like, sort of how words can make certain activities exclusionary. Certain, like academic spheres I think it was mostly about how oftentimes academic spheres become exclusionary because they insist on using excessively... They insist on writing everything very wordy, which makes a lot of the information they're presenting inaccessible to most people, because you have to be in sort of an in-group where all of those terms are recognizable and such. And so his argument was, his argument at the very least was that he was arguing for succinctness in academic writing and lessening the usage of overly complicated prose. And I've actually just sort of realized that chat does not care. Chat is talking about something completely different, so I'll shut up now. Damn, I cannot be fucking up this checkpoint. This is the one checkpoint I cannot be fucking up. Okay, my dash directions are pretty awful right now, I gotta say. I'm having fun though, which is important, which is a good thing. I've noticed, it seems like I was doing very well at the updraft section today, but not very well at the downdraft and the stable air sections, which is the opposite of how it usually is. Normally, I have the most trouble in the updraft section, and these two, and the downdraft and the stable sections, are the ones that I do better at. That is not the case right now. It is the exact opposite. That's about all I can do in a bakery. I know the feeling. I've seen those prices. There's this French bakery that I really love going to. It's one of my favorite bakeries ever. It's about like 15 minutes from my house, but I love this bakery. But I can only go there like once every like couple months because it's just too expensive. I'll pay like $30 for a relatively light meal. Like, a very good meal. But, yeah. I just have to meter myself, because it's very expensive. Okay, I got it 3 in a row, but I'm gonna keep practicing this. I want to lock this one in. Damn. You could rob it. This would, in fact, solve all of my problems. So, a big issue right now is I'm overcorrecting before that dash, and I'm trying to go straight up, but I'm ending up going up and to the left. I think that's the big issue that I've been encountering. Oh shit, we got an Ace Phoenix gamer. Hold on. Normal people playing Monster Hunter. I should get the armor with the most useful skills and upgrade the ones I use most often. Me, I must craft and fully upgrade every armor in ascending order of rarity. This will involve killing every available boss and refussing. But I gain upgrade materials at a significantly lower rate than I unlock new armor sets, so the fully upgrading will be constant. Ace, that is exactly how I play video games. Like, across the board. Across the board. That is... You have described basically exactly the way I play multiple different video games. like a frighteningly perfect descriptor. Like, I'm worried. Is Ace practicing to become me? Is Ace practicing to take over? Love, have you ever been screened for autism? No. People have told me I should, though. Oof. Oh, hey, 69. Okay, fine. I'll do a little bit of self-reflection. But no, I've not been formally screened for autism. As I said, I've had multiple people tell me I should be, but it has not. I have not been formally screened. Well, yes. I don't know. I tend to avoid placing labels like that on myself if I don't even want to call it placing labels. I just don't I just don't feel comfortable self-diagnosing anything. I don't know enough. I'm not formally trained enough. I don't like self-diagnosing. The other thing, like, how do you go about being formally screened for autism? Like, how do you just pull up to your doctor's appointment and be like, hey, can I get screened for autism, please? Like, can I just, can I just do that? Is that a thing that can happen? Or a psychiatrist. I don't have a psychiatrist anymore. I used to go to a psychiatrist, but I don't anymore. And my psychiatrist was testing me for completely different things than that. Well, I have not been to a doctor in quite a while. I should do an annual checkup. There's some stuff that I want to, like, talk to a doctor about. Anyways, so I should probably look into getting something booked. I feel like autism is just a mindset. Oh dear. I just said, hey, I think, oh, okay. That's a good way to phrase it. Or you could even say something like, if you want to be a nerd like me, you could say something like, hey, I've noticed I have behaviors/tendencies that seem to be consistent with autism. I would like to, I want to get it checked out just for the peace of mind or just to know. See, this is the manifestation of the vaccine variant. Why did I do that? That was so unnecessary. That was such an unnecessary way to lose a run. That was just the, like, that was intentional. That was not accidental. That was just me being... My brain was like, what if I clip the corner of the dream block? which is movement that I've never done in a run before. It is much less safe than what I usually do, and would mess up my positioning afterwards. There was actually no reason for me to do that. You have to write it for me as what's it about? I could at least try and help get the ideas flowing. GAT CPT. Oh, I actually have a funny anecdotal. I have a funny story. My physics class actually has us use ChatGPT and other like large language model AIs as part of the coursework. Like my physics professor saw that AI was on the rise and was just like, you know what? Instead of fighting this, I'm gonna find a way to constructively work it into the curriculum. So he's like, we're gonna try some stuff out. What I'm gonna have you guys do is have an AI system solve a problem for you, and then analyze whether or not the AI was correct. And so, mad props to my physics professor for taking a look at a new piece of technology and saying, hey, this isn't going anywhere. Let's find a way to use it constructively rather than outright banning it, and then putting it into action immediately. The fact that I gave a general framework and you instantly brainstormed a specific way, is that an autism thing? And more or less matched how I actually asked? No. Not usually? What would I ask questions about? As someone who is diagnosed, I am peer reviewing. Unless I have like something I want to get looked at or whatever. You could just be an overthinker. Unless it's like the thing I came to the doctor's office to ask about. D, all of the above. You're not a chronic gambler, you're just a risk. See, it's all about framing. Aw, man, I can't use any more gambling-related stream titles for Yakuza now. That's so sad. We beat the Gambling King. I can't use the gambling. I had so many good ideas for gambling-related stream titles. I wasn't able to use all of them. I can, but they're not relevant anymore. I actually need to come up with the stream title for the next, Yakuza stream. You're so right, Pumpkin. Just manufacture it. You can't think of a stream title? Make one work. Da 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 da. I can't get the timing to line up on this bitch. There we go. That was... I was struggling there. Oh, this is the first time I've been in a hotel all day. I'm almost glad I didn't hotel. I'm almost glad I didn't practice hotel. I feel like I would have just introduced a bunch of new mistakes. I'd say it's a correlation causation thing. We're just a bit curious. Yeah, no, I get it. I probably should at least... I've had enough people say it to me that I probably should at least get it looked at. Just more so, like, I feel like having... If certain things are in fact indicative of, autism or ADHD or any mental processing thing like that, having a name for it and having a way to describe it and like frame those behaviors, I think is probably pretty helpful. Because then it's not there's a source, there's a way, it's just a, yeah. Am I coming across well there? Also, this could be a practice social language, but the fact that when you die, you immediately do a full post-mortem. Okay, good. I'm not very verbose tonight, so I wasn't sure if anything I was saying was going to get across. Also, I just completely YOLO'd that room. Like, normally I have a full setup that makes that room as consistent as possible, but I just full YOLO'd it. It worked. I don't mind at all, but... I mean... I also just don't go to the doctors very often. I think that's... I don't really ever go to the doctors unless there's a very, like, specific thing I want to get looked at. I'm not very good about, like, doing annual physicals or anything like that. Like, unless there is a specific, like... Unless there is a specific thing that I want to get checked out, I don't usually even go to the doctors. There's that room. Fuck me. I slipped off the edge. That hurt. I get overwhelmed or exhausted if I'm in public at all. It does not even have to be that busy. I mean, busy stores are the worst, but, yeah, that ... tells me everything I need to know. Also, can I not die to Ridge, please? Ridge is one of the easier parts of this level. I really don't want to be making Ridge mistakes anymore. Whoop! Me when I'm a bear and I search the forest to... That was an epic me when I'm joke CD. Yeah, there are some textures I just don't like. You know what texture I don't like? I'm not a huge fan of the texture of cardboard. I really don't like the texture of cardboard. Makes me very uncomfortable. It's completely random thing, but since you brought it up, I thought I'd mention it. Since you brought up not liking textures. I feel like it happens a little less with furniture, maybe, but I don't like cardboard. I do not like the way cardboard feels on my skin. Chalk, chalk's a little off. Chalk's kind of bad. I don't like having stuff that stays on my hands. Like if something gets on my hands, I wanna clean it off. So whether that be like chalk dust or like something sticky. Fucking, I hate sap. Sap is so bad. You'd be going to every type of stool and doing... Yeah, no, actually, though. I think the only thing... I think the only thing stopping me from never having done that before is the fact that I don't think I've probably been in a furniture store since I played that game. Since I learned about this chair memes. Have you ever felt silk or velvet? Silk feels a little weird sometimes. I don't know. I don't think I've felt like proper velvet before. Felt is kind of bad feel too. I don't mind felt as much. Felt is okay. The fucking cardboard. Don't even get me started on cardboard. Funny part about sensory issues is some people will be apathetic about some textures and others will hate it, and yet others will love the texture. I mean, isn't that just how, like... Is that... specific, like, I mean, is like, I wouldn't think disliking or liking certain textures would be unique to sensory issues, would it? Oh, that was awkward as hell. I got the timing wrong, but I brought it back. We're okay. Oh yeah, I'm not a picky eater at all.
Okay, that was whack. Oh no, that was fine. That was what I normally do. No, why am I stupid? Why am I dumb and bad? I dashed too early there. That should have been fine. More of you have a visceral? Okay, okay, I gotcha. I gotcha. I gotcha. Thank you, CD. If a menu has a lot of, say, milkshakes, or a game has a lot of equipment sets, how strongly would you rate your desire? I'd say pretty strong. I usually like trying to, optimize things, if that makes sense. I make spreadsheets for video games sometimes. I mean, yeah, but to be honest, Pumpkin, I don't think I play a lot of games that have that type of mechanic in them. I'm trying to think if I... And I often do the math, actually, like, before I, like... I do, like... I will try and find, like, the most optimal combinations or whatever, but I often just do the math based on the stats. Why? Why would I do that? Why would I be bad at Celeste? That's so cringe of me. That's so silly. I'm not silly. I would never be bad at Celeste. Calculated the number of possible routines, including character and run modifier options, and made a spread. I do make spreadsheets sometimes. I definitely do that. And then I go back years later and critique my own spreadsheets because they weren't detailed enough. That's actually something that has happened before. I made a bunch of spreadsheets for Stardew Valley back when I was playing it. And then I learned a lot more about the game, and I went back years later and critiqued my own spreadsheets. Eye contact? What about eye contact? I'm just getting peer reviewed by, as you said earlier, I'm getting peer reviewed by the Board of Autism. This is actually pretty funny. To be fair, it is Stardew optimization. Yes. Stardew optimization can be a bitch. Just talk about eye contact? I don't know. I'm not entirely sure. I don't know. I'm trying to think of how to describe this. I don't, I'm never quite sure when eye contact is appropriate and how much of it. I feel like whenever I'm like interacting with the customer at work or something like that, I try and like always maintain eye contact, but then I also feel like, okay, I died. Does that make people uncomfortable if you do too much eye contact? I don't know. I'm never. Except the future psych major. This is going so poorly right now. Speaking of which, do you find Stardew relaxing or stressful? It depends on how I'm playing it. To be fair though, I mostly play it in a stressful way. I have done relaxing Stardew playthroughs before, but I usually play it in a stressful way. Opinions on socks. I always wear socks. I don't like not having socks on. I don't like to, I do not like the feeling of not having socks on. Always. I don't take my socks off unless I'm showering. See, that just means you're not gay. I don't know what it is. I don't like being barefoot at all. Actually, I don't know. But yeah, I basically always have socks on. You hate socks? I'm very picky about my socks too. Like they have to cover up at least my entire ankle. And preferably, I prefer longer socks too, like the ones that go further up my legs. But then everybody told me I looked like a grandpa with the really long socks on, so I started wearing shorter ones. I was never trying to help or hurt the Tism case. Okay, fair enough. I'm not wearing socks on the beach. On the subject of the beach, though, born to love the beach, cursed to hate sand. Sand is so gross. Well, okay. I should be careful about saying that, because if it either needs to be completely sandy or not sandy at all. Like, if I like the feeling of sand if my feet are completely submersed in sand. But I cease to like sand if it continues to stick to me after that. I gotta lock the fuck in. What am I doing? What is happening in my brain right now? This is not working. There we go. We can have different sensory preferences. This is true. Best part of the beach is sitting next to the ocean with your feet in the mud, feeling the heat of the sun and the... Oh. That is so nice. Just that image in my brain is so nice. Though it needs to be a pleasant heat, because I'm not a huge fan of the heat overall. Like, it needs to be the right amount of heat. That felt weird. I made it work, but it felt weird. Why is the biggest struggle of Summit just making it out of early game? Oh, yes. Oh my goodness. That sounds so nice. Ooh. I think it's probably pretty obvious at this point, but I am so ready for this golden hunt to be over. I'm so ready. It's been going on for over 3 months at this point. I'm ready to be done with this one. I went a little early there. That could have been bad if I had gone too early, but it was fine. Cool. I don't know. It almost feels like tonight I'm having trouble taking runs seriously, if that makes any sense. Ooh, shit. No, I knew that was gonna happen because I saw the... Dang it.
Okay. 6-year-old me down to so much seawater. I'm not a huge fan of seawater. I like how it feels to be in the ocean, but also got to get goggles on. Monster Hunter next game. I've been at that. You are actually the you're like the I think the second person to recommend Monster Hunter to me recently. The other one is another fellow streamer, Octillion. But my ass was bad at Thirsty. I'm actually a little bit irritated that I can't seem to make it out of Ridge tonight. D2. See, I entertain the idea of Monster Hunter because it sounds like something I might actually enjoy. I have looked at D2, and more power to you, Pumpkin. I just don't. It doesn't, to me, seem like the type of game I would enjoy. The new game is coming soon, but I literally just started World. Oh, Ace, I am I am in the trenches on comp sci homework this semester. Last semester was DiffyQ. This semester is CSCI 2400 computer systems. What the fuck was that? But goddamn, once you get used to it, the combat works. Okay, nice, nice. Yeah, I don't know. I didn't really know what to expect from computer systems going into it, but, like, they have us starting with, like, binary math and, like, representations of primitive data types on a, like, bit-to-bit, on a bit level. And so I'm learning all of the Boolean operators and how to use them. If they just let me use, like, an if statement once in a while, it'd be great, but they don't. So here I am trying to count the number of bits that are equal to 1 in an integer. Just get good at base 2. Oh, and they also have us restricted on the number of operations we can use. Bitwise can be fun. The homework is set up as, like, a bunch of puzzles, basically. Y'all ever heard of base? How does base 1 work? How do you represent something in base 1? You mean tally marks? Like, from a purely conceptual level, how do you even do base 1? That is pretty much just tally marks, though, Pumpkin. You can sort of... We often sort of retrofit a base 5 system over the top of tally marks, but, like... Oh, yeah, fair enough. But, at their core, tally marks are just counting. But yeah, that's pretty fucking cursed. You just go to a new... Yeah, that's how you do it, isn't it? It's like drunk Roman numerals. The use of sites Wikipedia. Amazing, Ace. But yeah, no, like, one of the ones, the programming... It's a bunch of these puzzles, and one of the ones I'm stuck on right now is, like, count the number of bits that are set to 1 in a 32-bit integer, basically. But I only have, like, 40 operations to do it. So, like, I've thought of a couple ways to do it, but, like, it would... The ways I'm thinking that I can think of off the top of my head require at least 2 operations per bit, which puts me at, you know, 64 operations, which is too many. Yeah, 40 operations. 40 operations to tally the number of, bits that are set to 1 in a 32-bit integer. Which means I can average just over 1 operation per bit. Hypothetic. I love base 0. That's hilarious. What if we made a number based on the divide by 0? What if we made a counting system based on divide by 0 errors? That's just what that is. Turn every 1 to 0, that's less than 40 bits, and then you have the right answer every... What? How does that count them, though? Yeah, 100% bitwise operations. Oh, actually, technically we can do adds as well. We can add, like just the normal add plus operation. And we're allowed to do bit shifting. So the ones are normal bitwise operations, left shift, right shift, and just regular add. No comparisons, no logic at all. I mean, there are ways to compare things with bits, but like, no actual logic. I think that's the first time that room has felt normal all night. What counts as an operation? Bitwise and, bitwise or, bitwise XOR, bitwise not. The addition symbol, normal addition, and then any bit shifting also counts as an operation. What the fuck? Why am I failing so bad at... I can't make it past Ridge. What is happening? After I said I was gonna practice it too. And I went and practiced it just to avoid this. And then I got worse at Ridge somehow. The only hint that I've gotten from... They had this sort of like slideshow that they gave in recitation, which contained a bunch of hints on a bunch of the problems. And the only hint I've gotten so far is it was something like, how do you break this number down into smaller pieces that are easier to count? And I was like, oh, sorry. We can use logical not. I think a logical not is the one thing we can, is the one of the only logical operator we can use. I forgot about that. I forget about that one, but they have allowed us to use logical not, I think. So no logical and, no logical or, but we can use logical not. Actually, now that you mention it, maybe logical not is the way to go. How would I apply that though? Damn it. And if you had like 4 bits that are 1s and 0s, you use logical not on it, they're all gonna become 0. That's a way to at least detect if there are 1s in a certain bit sequence. Know that because I used that in a different question. We had to write a log-based 2 function as well. We were given 90 operations for that one. That one I actually was able to figure that one out. I did it in only like 45. Gonna head off for tonight? Alright, CD. See you later. You have a fantabulous evening. Not like you're probably gonna miss much. I'm not playing very well tonight. I feel like if I could find a way to more efficiently count things, like maybe 4 bits at a time, then I could probably fall under the amount with some use of, like, some clever bit shifting and masking. Just not sure. The problem is finding out a way... Oh, for fuck's sake. Like, if there was a way to take a 4-bit sequence and determine the number of bits that were set to 1 within that bit sequence somehow, I feel like the rest of it would be easy, because I could just use some bit masking and stuff. Actually, I got a text message. Let me go see what that is real quick. Oh, it's from Kane. Okay, and now I have confirmation on what day Yakuza is. Yakuza will be Tuesday this week. Actually, I should go let Kane know that I've heard him. Very professional streamer moment. There we go. So if we break it up into 4-bit chunks, that would mean I'd only have to do 8 comparisons, which gives me a lot more leeway, because it means I could do 5 operations in total on each 8-bit chunk, but... What the hell was that? I'm not entirely sure how I just died there, but whatever. Fortunately, it's like a tiny bit of way through level. Damn, now I'm just distracted by comp size stuff. That was a big mistake bringing that up. Oops. The 5-minute coding adventure always turns into something longer than 5 minutes. I've seen some of Doug's last 2 to 3 hours. What the? I got way more out of that block than I thought I would. But yeah, how to count bits. I guess with a sequence of 4 bits, there are 5 possible outcomes, that being that there are 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4 ones in the sequence, or bit vector, whatever you want to call it. Hey, I actually did the recovery right there. Categorizing the ones is easy, because it's like, if it's divisible by 2, but I can't divide, so that's kind of irrelevant anyways. Fucking 40 operations to count. Like, I couldn't even think of a way to count the number of ones properly. No, I can't use modulo. Rest in peace, modulo. Plus is the only arithmetic operator I can use. I don't even think I can use minus. I don't even think minus is an allowed operator. I have to use the legendary flip the bits and add 1 method to get the minus version. No multiplication either. If I want to multiply something, I have to add it recursively. Yeah, but the issue with that, Pumpkin, is you actually have to get the negative version of the number, which is... It's fairly easy, but it's not it's not trivial either. Like, to reverse the minus sign, you have to get the additive inverse of the number, which takes like 2 operations. It's not terrible, but it's also not just automatic. Like, for me, adding numbers takes 1 operation, but subtracting them takes 3, under the rules that have been defined for this assignment. Why can I not get the cycle to line up? Jesus. There we go. They're really trying to emphasize this thing called folding, which could be the thing. Like, take smaller and smaller chunks of the number and then and them or something like that. I don't know. Like, if you take the first half of an integer and it, you know for a fact that there's, you know that the fact that there's a 1 in there, you have it again, and you keep folding it down in on itself. I don't know if that's the proper, that might still be too many operations, because I feel like you might just end up getting really down in the weeds there. And in the limiting case that every number is a 1, I think that, yeah. In the limiting case that every number is a 1, you end up with a ton more operations. I'm playing Minecraft with Octi and Sophia right now. Nice. Wow, I made it out of Ridge. What a fucking surprise. I'm not I'm not bitter about that. I'm still traumatized from that one time I accidentally did the wrong direction on the red orb. Waste of a perfectly good run. Yeah, no, I stopped thinking about comp sci. I'm locked the fuck in right now. Oh, what the fuck was that? I accidentally pressed the jump button. That was weird. Little low on stamina there, but we made it work. Nice. Okay, cool. It's real summit hours. Alright, let's see if we can get a distance PB. Don't worry about it. Of all the mistakes to make, that one was not particularly bad. Nope. I gotta remember that I do this differently now. There we go. Don't walk off. Come on, brain. I really hate myself sometimes. I started panicking and I couldn't dash in the right direction. That was awful. That felt awful, that looked awful. What was, That, I lost all composure. Like, I couldn't get myself to dash in the right direction. It was really weird. Like, no matter what I did, none of my inputs seemed to be going in the right direction. Oh well. At least I got a run out of Ridge. It's sad that that's the metric for tonight, but you know what? Thinking about ComSci seemed to have worked last time. Let's keep doing it. But maybe I'll regret this. I brought up ComSci, and then like within a run or two, I actually started playing Will for a little bit. Where was I? Oh yes, counting bits. I was talking about doing a fold on it. I mean, the hint explicitly recommends folds. The hint sheet explicitly recommended folds on specific problems, just not that one. Maybe I just start thinking about a different problem and go back to that later. Because I have 3 left to finish. One of the other big ones is bit parity, so I have to determine whether or not an integer has an even or odd number of zeros in it, which is of course the same as determining if it has an even or odd number of ones in it, by necessity. That one, the recommended thing, they brought up XORing a lot in that hint. That one they brought up folding and XORing. That's what... I hate this game. That was entirely my fault, though. I shouldn't be saying I hate this game. That one was on me. Still sucks, though. What was the hint? Oh my god. There was barely a hint. The hint was, how do you break down this number into pieces that are more reasonable to count? That was basically the hint. And I was like, I have no trouble breaking down the number. Like, into smaller pieces, bit shift, bit mask, easy as fuck. Easy as pie. Like, so easy. But my issue is how to make the counting process more efficient, which they have given me 0 pointers on. I have been given 0 hints on how to make the counting process more efficient. I can think of a couple ways to break it down. Yeah, like as I said just a moment ago, you can do like a shift and mask kind of thing. So if you wanted, I don't know, the 3rd quarter of the bits, you just shift over by 16 and then mask out with 0xff. We can use hexadecimal, like, we can just write out hexadecimal masks. Though we have to kind of build them, they don't let you just do an entire hexadecimal mask as a single constant. They only let you use 2 hex characters at once. So if you want an entire hex mask, which we've needed a couple times, you have to build it 2 at a time and shift it over and then just add them together. Or them together. Either works technically in this case. So yeah, shifting and masking would be one way. Like, if I could do it in... for example, if we're trying to make it under 40 operations, if I could do something, right? If I could do the counting... Ah, shit. Yeah, okay. It is a vibe, Pumpkin. If I could do the counting in 4-bit chunks, if I had a mask or a set of operations or something that would extract the number of ones in a single 4-bit chunk, then what I could do is basically shift and mask 4 bits at a time and then perform the operations on them and then add them to like a count integer, which I'd return at the end. So it would be 1 operation for the shift, 1 operation for the mask, and then 1 operation for the add. And at that point, I would have 2 operations each. If I could extract the number of 1s and 0s from a 4-bit chunk with 2 operations, I know how to do the rest from there. So if in 2 operations I could take a 4-bit chunk and convert it to the number of 1s and 0s, then I could do the then I would know how to do the rest of the problem from there. The problem is how to make the counting efficient enough to do it with 4-bit chunks. Because I think 2-bit chunks would be too small. I think I'd use up too many operations trying to do it like that. Oh! Oh, I was so close to saving it! Oh, that would have been so cool. It didn't work, but it would have been so cool. That is, however, good to know, though, because in the past, I've just given up when I make that mistake. I've just been like, oh, it's dead. But it looks like you can actually make it back over. Alright, anyways, 4-bit chunks. I guess we could go through some of the patterning of 4-bit chunks real quick. Because, oh, gotta go. Alright, see ya, Pumpkin. If you take a 4-bit chunk, it will have 4 1s in it if and only if it's all 1s. Same for zeros. If and only if it's all zeros will it have will the number of ones be 0? The number of if it has 1 in it, it's also pretty easy because that's just, there's only 4 cases for that. It's when it's in one of each of the 4 options. It just gets a lot shakier when you try and do it with 2 and 3. So I guess if we start with those easier cases and see if we can extrapolate it from there. Like maybe there's some sort of bit mask I can pull off or something like that. So how would I take 15, how would I take 111 in hex and convert it to 4, per se? How would I pull that off? Couple options if I exclusive ord it with 1100, right? That would get me... No, wait, I need to get it down to 4. And so 4 is going to be 0100, which means I'd have to exclude... I'd either have to AND it with 4 or exclusive OR it with the not of that. Right? Yeah. Yeah. So let's just say we get... Let's just go with 4 real quick. If we wanted to turn 16 into 4. So let's say we did the AND op. Let's say we did exclusive OR. Honestly, AND I think might work better in that case. Because AND would also apply to... But it wouldn't apply, it wouldn't work for basically anything else. Yeah, see, that's just the thing. Like, I try and break it down into these 4-bit pieces, because that seems in my head to be the simplest thing. Would be to try and count it in these smaller chunks. But I just don't think it's possible with a limited number of operations to get that to work. My next best guess is logical not operators. Because those are sensitive to the presence of ones in bit sequences. Damn it. I'm honestly pretty stumped on bit count. I have been for a while. Actually don't know how to do it. And their hints have not been helping. Maybe I think my brain is maxed out on bit count for the moment. I'm just spinning in circles. I haven't come up with any new ideas since the last time I thought about it. Let's talk about bit... I'm gonna think about bit parity instead. Which is another thing I don't really want to think about. The big hint they gave us for bit parity was that, it was if you XOR 1 with 1 twice, it returns to a 1. So if you go 1 XOR 1 and then XOR 1 again, it will return to a 1. That was the hint they gave us. I guess I'll stick around a bit longer. Alright, CD, I'm always glad to have you. I've managed to fully distract myself with comp size stuff at this point. It's kind of depressing. I was supposed to not think about that. Oh well. Maybe if I just try playing Celeste for a little bit and not thinking about it. Go ahead, CD. Oop, hold on. Well, I mean, you can go ahead and type it. I gotta... It's gonna be a moment. It's not gonna necessarily be immediately I'll be able to read it. Oh, actually, that reminds me. Yakuza Tuesday, CD. I got a response back from Kane, so... Thought I'd let you know that's gonna be the schedule. No, 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 no. Ooh. I hate that mistake. I really do. I haven't made it in a few streams. Yeah, sure. Like, just something about... Yeah, okay, I gotcha. That was whack. In Stars in Time. Yo, that's hype. Said it's called In Stars in Time. Could you send me the name or the Steam profile link, CD? So I can check it out at some point. I do feel like I owe it to Azeweeb to check out Voices of the Void first, if I'm gonna check out any viewer requested games. It won't necessarily be on stream, but I do feel like I owe it to Azeweeb to at least take a look. What the frick? I don't know why I'm making mistakes like that right now. Kind of just hurling myself at this. You know. I just got a Discord notification. Was that you, CD? Again, like, it's mistakes like that that have plagued tonight. This is one of the few that got me close. Whoa! Nice! That good, huh? To be honest, most of my Steam recommendeds are like the weirdest fucking visual novels you've ever seen. It's just because I guess that's the stuff that's similar to what I play. I think visual novels are just whack in general. And so, of course, the more visual novels you play and browse, the more of the whack ones that Steam is gonna recommend to you. Overhyping stuff. Yeah, I do that a lot too. I did that with Only God Was Above Us, and it did not pan out. They always ask me about Pravda. It's just the Russian word for truth. Your consciousness is not my problem. And when I come home, it won't be home to you. They always ask me about pravda. It's just the Russian word for truth. Your consciousness is not my problem. And I hope you know your brain's not bulletproof. Don't know if I've mentioned this, but I love the Royal... agreed. Yep. And when he finished the game... Oh, no! Yeah, I think I tend to overhype Royal as well. In my opinion, Royal is the best part of the game. Huh? Connect is your least favorite song on the album. That is... Huh. I still find that surprising, because you're the only person I've recommended Only God Was Above Us to who has had that opinion. As I try and make this clear a lot, like, to each their own. I'm not here to dog on anyone's music taste. It's just, that is the biggest, It is just a little, it's just surprising to me, just considering the reactions that song has gotten from everyone else. Yeah, because, like, Whiskers, Maroc, and Priest have all listened to that album, and I think Connect is one of their favorites off of all three of them. I think Connect is one of their favorites. I don't know, just the interplay between the like the piano and the standing bass, and then like the like contrast between the quiet and loud bits, the theming of it. I knew that was gonna fucking happen. I saw that my position, I saw that my timing and positioning was off, and I was like, yeah. I don't think I've been focusing enough on that, on my setup there. Like, my setup's plenty consistent, I just haven't been focusing enough to, like, execute it properly every time. Think it could work well as a Twitch playthrough. Outer Wilds, but I replaced Pumpkin's role. Nice. I'll have to think about it, CD, because I am I do have plans for the next couple series I wanted to do on stream, and I'm getting back to that point where there's more that I want to do on stream than I have time to do it. Maybe at the end of Yakuza, I could swap something else in. Swap a couple things else in for like, mini-series. Because once I start Persona 3 Reload, that's going to be a long-term commitment. But once we get through Persona 3 Reload, we'll have gone through, on the channel, all three of the modern Persona games. Now I just gotta track down, like, a PS Vita to play the first two games. Game is around... So it's like a Mori size. Could play Hyrule Warriors. Oh, fuck. Oh, no. Oh, fuck. Oh, no. I love that I've made that mistake of updashing there so many times that I actually, like, can instinctively correct for it now. Oh, also, I wasn't speaking out loud about it, but I was thinking about bit parity again. The one of the other comp sci problems while I've been celesting it up. And I had a thought, which is if you take half of I was just sort of like going based on the hints that were given. If you take half of half of an integer and XOR it with the other half of an integer, if zeros and ones line up, you get if zeros and ones line up, they'll cancel each other out and make a pair, and they'll go to 0 basically. So damn it, I'm blanking. Anytime there's a pair when you compare, it'll go to 0. Anytime there's not a pair, it'll go to 1. So, in theory, if you XOR the first and second half of the number together, you know, and you get 0 back, you know for sure that the bits are in parity. That I can say that much with certainty. I don't think the reverse is true. If you have 1, I don't think it necessarily means that the bits aren't in parity. So the problem at that point, I looked up the bit count problem is the answer is some esoteric bullshit I would never think of. Really? Is it actually that bad? Some of the I'm a little irritated because some of these problems have been really hard for compared to the stuff we do in class with this, and just like the level of skill we are supposed to have with bitwise operators right now. Like I mentioned the log base 2 question earlier, that one was a doozy. Yeah, I figured it was Zoring and Fold. I just need to make sure I can do it under the bit count. I don't think I have a ton of operations for that one. I think it's only like 20 or 25. Fortunately, I don't think the folding and I don't think folding and Zoring is gonna be too operation intensive, but we'll see. That one I think I understand. I think I understand the principle behind parity pretty well at this point. I just need to sit down and crank it out. Bit count, I actually have no idea how to do that. Like I've been thinking about bit count since Tuesday, and I don't think I've made a single bit of progress on it since Tuesday. If you have an even number of bits, it would eventually fold to 0. Okay. I YOLO'd the fuck out of that, but it worked. Sometimes it does. I need to stop YOLOing it, though. I have a setup. It's consistent. I don't need to be messing that room up ever. Yo, thank you, true Mega Man enjoyer, and welcome to the stream. I'm not playing very well tonight, so don't expect too much. It's just been kind of brute force tonight. And every so often I get a run that goes a little bit further. But I appreciate the vote of confidence. Okay, and we're fucked. My schedule is now thrown off. Dude, I hate... That was bad. Look up hammering weight for the algorithm. Hamming weight? I'm not expecting farewell. I didn't see that. Something I'd even... Yeah. I can't even get this one, so it's not like a... Farewell is such a pipe dream for me at this point. Hamming weight? Same thing as population count. These are things they've never mentioned, like, even once. It was funny, I was in recitation, and the guy next to me was looking at the bit count problem, and he started, like, talking through it out loud while we were doing recitation stuff. And I remember him, like, within, like, a couple minutes just saying to himself, guys, I might be cooked. I'm trying for a 202 golden one. It'd be nice, eventually. It'd be nice. I don't... It's gonna take me a while, clearly. I can't even... Like, I'm losing steam rapidly right now. The fuck is a population count? I'm actually... I don't even know what that is. May possibly come back in 20 minutes. Alright, CD, good luck. Godspeed. Only at 181 or something. I am at... I don't actually know. I've gotten 7 golden berries right now. That's where I'm at. Or, sorry. I've gotten 6 golden berries. This would be the 7th, if I can get it. Same thing as the number of ones in a number. Okay. I'll trust you on that one. Is it gonna do something where I, like, have to make the mask based on parts of the mask or something? Like... That bit count one is actually... That bit count question is actually so cursed. Yeah, the first time I learned how to do binary arithmetic the first time, like, less than 2 weeks ago. Oh, we're coding in C, by the way. We're programming in, like, basic C right now. Seven C-side. I have not done any of the C-sides. I've just been working through the A-sides first. Okay, can I not fuck this up? I don't know, I had my suspicions. The other one, so I have 3 more problems left that I haven't solved right now, right? The first one was bit count, and I got to bit count, and I thought about it for like 5 minutes, and I was like, this seems needlessly complicated and difficult. It was the only problem where I looked at it and had no idea how to even start. And so I was like, this one seems like way more difficult than it should be. Oh, never mind, it's built into this GCC compiler. Gotcha. The other one I'm stuck on right now is bit parity. We discussed that one just a moment ago, but the final one I'm stuck on at the moment is something they're calling true 3/4. And they call it true 3/4 because they also have an easy 3/4 in the question. And the easy 3/4 is basically just don't worry about overflows, multiply by 3 first, then divide by 4. Which is the easy way to do it. And the purpose of that question is like teaching you about biases when you're doing division with bit shifting, basically. Come on. There we go. And so that one wasn't too bad. I looked up in the textbook how the bias stuff worked. Looked pretty easy. Figured it out. I can pretty much explain why the bias works the way it does. Got the question solved. True 3/4 is basically says account for overflow. And the reason that's important is it means that you have to do the division first and then the multiplication, because if you take a 3/4, in theory you should never overflow. But the problem with doing the division first is you start having to deal with preserving the bits that you're knocking off, because in theory, those bits, while they're not significant at the time of dividing, the bits could be significant after you multiply. Like, it could change the result by 1 or 2. It doesn't have to. And then you have to work out, the challenge of the question is working out, I think, basically when to add the bias. As far as I can tell, the issue is like, when the hell do I add the bias? And how much of it? That was bad. It doesn't, but I'm at a point with it where I keep making changes and stuff, and I'm always within like 1 or 2 of the correct answer. So yeah, you have to preserve the 2 least significant bits when you do the bit shift. That part isn't the worst. I think I've just been there's 2 strategies I found. They both involve masking. One of them, basically, you just mask the bits out with 0, and then you don't have to worry about the biasing at all, really. You just do the division. Because you don't have to worry about biasing with positive numbers. And then then there's a kind of funky way that I can get those bits back over into a negative. I can get the bits back into a negative form. But I'm still working on it, honestly. Oh, Tremega Man Enjoyer, thank you for the sub, and I got distracted. But thank you for the sub anyway. Thank you for subscribing anyways. Oh yeah, no, that's what I'm doing. It just doesn't work perfectly. It still has an issue with the bias overcorrecting. As I said, the issue is placing the bias. So in the easy 3/4 version, what you do is you add the bias right after you multiply by 3, basically. And then you divide by 4. So the bias is being sort of combined into that total. The problem is the bias, I think, basically has to be added in right before you do the division. And so it's weird because I have to the bias it's awkward. It's awkward as fuck. But I always end up just a couple I end up like 1 or 2 off every time. Because that was my first idea, is do the easy 3/4 on the least significant bits, and do do the true 3/5 on the more significant bits. But there's still issues with bias placement, and I don't know how to fix them. Because if they're negative, then technically speaking, both operations have to be biased. No. You have to do bias with the easy one as well. Because, you're trying to... So the issue with the bias is you're trying to get it to round towards 0 instead of away from 0. I don't know if you've... I'm not... Just to make sure we're on the same page. And so if you're doing negative number, if you have an unsigned integer and you do a negative, and it's negative, when you do it just like that for easy, the number will round away from 0 because it works by truncating bits, basically. And so if you're doing a negative division, if you're... Sorry, I said that wrong. If you have a negative signed integer. I totally said that wrong. No, if you've got a negative signed integer. That was slip of the tongue, I'm sorry. Alright, I'm about at my limits with Celeste, though, by the way, so, if I can't get a run started in the next, like, 5-10 minutes, I'll probably call it quits for the night. I've already gone on a little bit longer than I wanted to. Anyways, if you're trying to do division on a negative number, it will, by default, round away from 0, because the divide by 4 works by shifting bits off. And so what you have to do is you have to add a bias. You have to add a bias which is basically the amount you're shifting by -1. Or the amount you're dividing by -1. So the bias for a divide by 4 is 3. And what that does is, in the case that you are performing the 3/4 operation on a negative number, it basically forces it to round to the correct amount. That's how the bias works. Am I explaining that well? You know, in a weird way, I have to do interview grading for this, so talking through these problems is almost helpful. Oh, okay. because of how unsigned integers work, basically when you truncate them, they round down instead of up, right? Or sorry, am I saying that right? Because of how negative integers work in a binary representation, 2's complement, or whatever the fuck they call it, when you, when you round, when you basically divide, when you divide a negative number, damn, brain is not working. When you divide a negative number, it rounds away from 0 instead of towards 0. That I know for sure. And so you add the bias to correct it. The problem is that if I... Oh my god, that's such an ass mistake. I find 1C the hardest. 1C, interesting. Sorry, I didn't see until more recently that you've done that. Yeah. Yep. Yep. So you have to add, you add the bias to correct for that, basically. That's the gist. So the bias is a way of correcting for that. That part's not hard. The problem is that if you try and do the division, if you try and add the bias when you're dividing before multiplying, the bias seems to propagate. Because the bias will have a bigger effect on the smaller number. Which means either I either need to find another place to add the bias, or something. Maybe I add the bias when I'm doing the least significant bits. I just don't know if... I feel like I've tried that and it didn't work. Anyways, it's something I thought would be... I'm very close to having the right answer on it, but it's something I thought would be easier and turned out not to be. That's the gist of it. Oh, and I haven't even started on the extra credit problems. Those ones are on floating point numbers. They've got a bunch of extra credit on floating point numbers. Fortunately, I still have almost a week to do this, but, like, it's been taking up so much of my time. Oh boy, fast inverse square root. Fucking hell. Alright, I'm going to try and lock in for this attempt. I think I might be done after that, though. Not very much good progress made this stream, sadly. I had fun playing, but, you know. Magic bitwise fuckery. I'm gonna also do some 7A Golden Brute Force with you. I hope you do this run. Me too. I've been at this for a very long time. Longer than I'd care to admit. You've seen that? I have not seen that code snippet. I'm scared. I'm actually scared. Oh, what the fuck? Oh, what the fuck is that? What the hell? Sorry, Twitch doesn't allow markdown. Oh dear God. Yeah, I think one of the floating point questions is just like get the negative version of the floating point number or something like that. It's like make it negative or something. Rare footage of me doing that room like I practiced it. Ah! I don't usually neutral dash there. I usually do up, right, or whatever. That's also... I'm not doing this room like I normally do. Oh, 5A. The 5A. I didn't find the 5A part of 7A to be that bad. I honestly didn't. That was some floating point magic where they used a magic number mask to approximate an inverse square root in Quake 3 Arena. Oh, for fuck's sake. That's ridiculous. I just... I almost could have saved it. I almost could have. I'm gonna do one more, but that's gonna be it. Like, no matter how far this attempt makes it. So what did we learn tonight? We learned that, unsurprisingly, being distracted by comp sci is not conducive to good Celeste playing. That's good. You gotta break it down like that, you know? Analyze it bit by bit, like what went wrong. Do some self-reflection, and then you come back better next time. Yes, we also learned that. We did also very much learn that. That's the other brutal thing about 7A. It's just so long. I bring it up every stream because it bears repeating. This level is so fucking long. Like, a successful attempt of 7A has gotta be like 15 minutes. Ever sort toys so I could play with them in order? No, but I always had a very strict order in which I ate food on my plate. You know, it's odd. I always did veggies first. Because I didn't like veggies and I was like, I'm gonna eat them first so that I can enjoy the rest of the meal left. I can enjoy the rest of the meal more. Like, getting the anticipation of the veggies out of the way. I was like, okay, I get the anticipation of the veggies, I eat the veggies, it's over, and then I eat the rest. And then I eat the stuff in the other order. I don't know why 2,000 meters has just been the bane of my existence today. But it's really fucking me up. Oh, okay, gotcha. Mix and match wish foods. I still pretty often will eat stuff in a specific order. Unless it's like... So for something like, unless it's something where you're, like, supposed to combine all the ingredients into one, like, big... Like, bibimbap is a good example of this. Like, where you're supposed to, like, mix it all together. Though the first time I ate bibimbap, I ate it all in order, and then the nice Korean lady who owned the place was like, no, you mix it together. That's true. You have a point there. You've got a point there. Well, to be honest, at this point, I just do anything that I think will produce the optimal eating experience. Like, if certain things are best enjoyed at a certain time, you do it in that order. Yeah, Summit has a way of doing that to you. Ooh. That was a little weird. Makes the fries taste worse. Oh, I'm at 182 goldens. Sorry, not 182 goldens. 182 berries. I just noticed that. It's on my pause screen. I was not quite sure what the actual number was. Though I do have moonberry as well, so... God, the fucking, the golden and moonberry in the same, the golden, farewell golden and moonberry in the same run is awful. That shit is so bad. Pretty sure I've died to every room in this run at this point. Like, I don't think there's much doubt about that. Nice. Need to go back and do mood very legit. I use variant mode for it on my main save. It's... It's not good. After farewell, that is so fair. That is so valid. I had a pretty big break in between the end of farewell and the start and me doing Moonberry, so it wasn't... I did it just normally, but I get it. I really do. Ooh. That was a little bit spooky. There we go. God, I get to this part of the level, and all I'm thinking about is the ways I have messed up every single one of these checkpoints. I'm like, oh, I remember dying there. Like that! Why is my timing like that? Okay, that was a good run, though. We went out on a high note. Last run of the day was pretty good. No distance PB, which is bad, but... Yeah. I was a little worried about doing this stream when I did, because I knew I was going to be distracted going into it, but... It is what it is. I had fun anyways. Okay.
But that's it for tonight, seriously. Stream schedule, as of now, should be D&D Monday. I'll send out an announcement if that doesn't go on, and then Yakuza on Tuesday. Celeste next week will either be... I might try and do it on Thursday and then a weekend day if possible. Just in case I can squeeze in 2 sessions. So I really want to be done with this Golden Berry. But that's kind of the general plan for now. With that though, I'm getting pretty tired, so I'm gonna go ahead and say goodbye to everyone. Thanks for watching. We had True Mega Man Enjoyer, Person on the Internet, Ace, Phoenix Gamer, Pumpkin, CD, Azeweeb, and VR Indie Games. I think that was our crew for tonight. I think that was the crew. But yeah, thanks everyone so much for dropping by. I appreciate it. Oh, and any lurkers who were chilling around, appreciate y'all as well. Yeah, I had fun talking with everyone tonight. I'll say that. It really did. But for now, it's time for me to pop off. So thank you all one more time. I'll see y'all later. Ciao.